friends. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. For those of you who are new, my name is Latanya Lady Diva Washington. I'm the owner and founder of Lady Divine Beauty Reform, home organization services, gift baskets, and more. So I did say that I was going to put out a few videos on how I organize and set up my inventory. So I'm going to start out in certain areas of my home. I'm not going to put it all in one video. I'm just going to show the snippets throughout the day as well as the week. So for starters, I want to go over this cabinet. Now, this cabinet you're looking at right now, this is the portion, a section of my kitchen. And my husband and I, we did discuss that since we do have a lot of cabinetries and I'm most definitely in need of a shelf and I don't have any space to where I have all of my items to be displayed, we did talk about it and it was like, okay, well, half of the kitchen will be for me, and this is away from the stove and all the cooking utensils and everything else, because he has several other cabinetries that's pertaining to the dishes and, you know, the stove, the microwave, and everything that's pertaining to cooking. So this section is strictly for me. So I'm going to start off with this cabinet here. And so this cabinet, as you guys can see, this is pretty much like where I have all of my body washes, scrubs with good baths, like my brand stuff, as well as my body mist, and also my hand wash. So on the first top shelf now is, as you can see, I have been depleting my inventory due to Mother's Day, and I'm so grateful of that. So on the top shelf is where I have all of my body scrubs. The second shelf is where I have my body creams and body lotions, and on the third shelf is where I have all my body mist, and of course it's in different fragrances. And then on the last shelf is where I have all my hand soap, and then I have some additional body washes. Since I had that little space right there, I filled it in with my body wash as well as bath sauce that I received from Dollar Tree. So that is this section of my cabinet. Okay, so now we're moving over to the second section. So in this section here is where I have all my organizing products as well as like my Lazy Susans. Now at the top shelf, I have like all of my hand soap, decanters, as well as like if I want to put any type of cleaning products on the inside, as far as like my sprays or whatnot. But this is mostly like for my hand soaps and sanitizer and everything for the decanters that I can put in my home baskets. And then I also have like my wine glasses and my coffee mugs that is custom coffee mugs with the wood grain and everything that I received from my wholesaler. Now on the second shelf, I do have my Lazy Susan, and y'all, I am vertically challenged, so I am standing on top of my three-step stool. So on here, I pretty much have like all of my face masks with Rachel Roy, as well as the Vanilla Rose. So anything that's pertaining to jars like this, it is on this Lazy Susan, and I highly recommend you guys go ahead and purchase that, because you can use it for seasoning or you can use it for products or however you like. As well as I do like this organizing system. For the third shelf, I pretty much like have all of my tubes, facial cleansers that's on here, as well as lotions, and then of course the baby products with the powder, as well as the baby oil, so I can set up for my baby baskets as well. But I do love that this 3-tier organizer as well. That is good for seasoning, but I like to use it for my organizing. I do have some for my season as well. And then on the last shelf, it's pretty much like it is organized, it is set up. Let me go get down. And so this is where I have like the bath sauce that I received from Top Shelf, and the hand soaps, and everything is pretty much has its place. You see it's all lined up, as well as the hand soaps is in the back. And then on to the further of the left, then you most definitely will see the body, the shampoo, the conditioner, as well as the body wash. So all of that is together. And then of course these bottles there, that's pretty much like witch hazel. Now I'm a firm believer that you should most definitely utilize all the real estate that is inside of your cabinetries as well as within your home. So what I mean about that is that I have some command hooks that actually have like to hold anything that's pertaining with this little hook that you may see at the retail stores. So I use that, and then at first I did have my reusable clutter-free bags that was hanging up here, but I put that all in my Mother's Day basket, so just so it won't be an empty space like this and I have to like double it like this, which I can, but I didn't want that. I just move it on up to the top. Now this part is pretty much like for my grooming baskets, and so I am using that. Now when I get some more command strips, I'm going to have it up all the way to the top of the cabinet as well. So that is this second section of my body products inventory right here. Okay, so for this next cabinet, as you can see, we went through the first two, and so this last cabinet, this is where I have all of my backstock. And if you don't know what a backstock is, if you ever hear that term, what a professional organizer say backstock, that's pretty much means that you have your extra minor items that is already that's in a bin, or it's in a decanter or whatever in your cabinets, or if your pantry or however. So that means that you have extra minor items, that's where you will create a backstock for your area. Now originally this is where I have all of my office supplies, as far as my copy papers and books and everything, and journals. At the previous home I had it on the top of my closet because we had a lot of more shelves and closet space and counter space at the previous home. But again, keep in mind that this is how I have to set up my supplies, set up my inventory due to the layout of this home. So this where I keep all of my office area. Now again, I utilize my real estate that's on my cabinet door, so that's my vision board, my goals, my purpose. When I say goals and purpose overall, now I do write a lot of my goals down, so that's where majority of my journals and everything on here. As you can see, I have my copy paper that's on this shelf, and then of course I have my laminator, so anything that's pretty much like machine relatable, then I most definitely have that. These are my journals that I do have. And then of course when I was writing written invoices excuse me, for my professional organizing business side, then that's what my invoice receipt book. And then I am a leader of my church, so that's where you see like a lot of the journals that's in the back behind of the invoice, as well as my business card that's on the side right here. And then on the second shelf, this is pretty much like my business binder that when I went to business school at U of H, University of Houston. And then, but again, I still implement the things that I have learned at the school. I implement it in my business. And of course, these are my vision board tablets that I do have, because I most definitely have to see it in a physical form. And I do carry it with me, but I just put it up here for, put it inside of my backstock. And then up here, this is pretty much like some additional journals that I do have. Now everything has its space. It is decanned with this this organizer. It's pretty much like a book organizer that you just put your little inserts in it, but I put it flat down forward, and I just put my journals and everything on here. Here at the top shelf, there's some additional copy papers, and it's pretty much like my business and personal talents and more journals. And then I do have my drawings and my marketing materials, as well as my drawings that I do, my sketches that's in the binders as well. And then of course, as you can see, this is a hanging shelf organizer that I do have for some extra space. And then at the top of there are also like my journals. That's where the polka dot is. Okay, so at the very top, you guys, you can see that I have my binders and for my weekend crafts binder up there, as well as my wedding planner organizer, which is great that I do have, because I am helping my sister plan her wedding. And then on here, as you can see, that I'm actually this is my old logo that I did draw for myself, as well as my old business card that I just laminated. And then I have my command strips that's right here. This is my extra backstock for my stickers, as well as my stencils, as again, as you're aware, that I do draw. And I also have I do have a sticker book where I have all my decals and everything in it. I have in a binder, but since I just purchased these, I just put it up here. So this is pretty much how I have my cabinet with my office space and supplies and laminator sheets and copy paper and everything for my printer. And I have it all set up in zones where my computer is right here. So right here, that's where we are. That's in the kitchen area. So you want to make sure that you create different types of zones for your home. Okay, so for this is the same side. This is where we're now we're gonna go over to the drawers. Now originally I did have like all of my soaps and bath bombs. I did have it here individually, but I put them all in baskets. That's what I was saying, that I'm so grateful that I was depleting my inventory for Mother's Day. Back here is where I have all of my wipes that's wrapped around, as well as my dude wipes. And then of course there's some extra clippers that's getting ready for Father's Day. So that is what's in this first drawer here. The second drawer is where I have the remaining of my bath bombs, and as well as my slim cream. Now this pretty much I just put it in this drawer, y'all, but this is for me, honey, because I'm on my weight loss journey as well. So I just put it here because I'm getting ready to use that. But for the most part, this is where I pretty much keep all of my bath bombs in this second drawer. And again, for this last drawer, this is where I keep the remaining of my soaps, as well as some extra bath bombs. I didn't have any space to put in a second drawer, so I just put that right there. And then of course this is where I have the original bath bombs, as well as with the soaps, as well as my candles that's in the back. So y'all, this is just to show you that yes, you most definitely can utilize the items that's in your home or what you already have, and then just go from there. So yeah, so I just pretty much have everything in its place. So as you can see that for all my computer stuff, and as well as you see like my laminator, as well as my sealer that's right next to it. And then of course I'm gonna get to the bottom on the last part of the section of my section of the kitchen on how I store my inventory. Okay, so now we are at the bottom of my cabinet. This is where I keep all of my extra journals and everything for church, as well as at the top. And as you can see, they have like the book inserts that I use as far as my dividers. And of course, this. Okay, so right here, of course, right here, this is my scrapbook when I have all of my scrappies, as well as my shelf dividers, and of course my my sign of my hours. And then I do have my ornaments that's at the bottom, and I do craft projects along with that as well. And y'all, this is actually the secret that I do use when I do my baskets, as far as, you know, my swing and everything else, as far as my rods. And at the very bottom, that's where I have like my candle holders, as well as my measuring cups and the jars that's right here. And it's of course that's why I have like all my glasses and my additional candle holder. So this is at the bottom of the cabinet. Now this last and final cabinet, this is where I keep all of my contracts as for my professional organizing side, as well as my additional personal information. And of course I have my extra stencil and flashlight and hammer that's right here, tape dispenser, excuse me, that's right here. On the side of my computer, and I do have some extra shelving. So this is where I keep like all of my extra printer papers for my printer, as well as I have my labels that's right here in this section. As you can see, I do have it in different sections. This is where I keep my additional shred, and I do have a backstock for that too, but this is not part of my backstock. My backstock for my shred is actually in a tote. And so yep, that's what this is. So I hope that this video helps you guys. This is the last section of my side of the kitchen and how I store my inventory. Stay tuned for other videos of all the other items that I do have stored in different sections and different zones in my home. Now this is a disclaimer. This is how I find it's more beneficial and functional for my liking, but this is just to give you some ideas that yes, you most definitely can utilize the things and the items and the areas that's in your home. You just want to make sure that everything has its place and everything has its zones. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Always keep in mind, we shine together. Have a great one.